What do you think is society's biggest addiction? Attention. People do weird shit for attention. It happens in many ways, some mostly harmless and others horrifying and illegal. The tamest and most widespread is probably social media. The worst, IMO, is parents who fake their child's illness, or even get them ill intentionally, in order to get attention. People I know in psych have a tough time with this sort of patient, because it is so difficult to wrap your head around that level of selfishness and child neglect. The need for constant input/stimulation. This is pretty evident by how much we're all addicted to our phones, social media, etc., but also very apparent when you look at how we use these things. We look at so many photos and posts that give us quick, small bursts of entertainment to keep us stimulated, but each one is promptly forgotten by the time we scroll to the next one. This need is reinforced by the 24-hour news cycle that has to constantly churn out non-stories to keep viewers entertained/get more clicks. We're feeding ourselves a constant diet of empty entertainment calories just so we can have something to do. Stuff. And things. And gizmos. And more stuff. I have to have more stuff. I used to watch those shows that help people sell their houses where the houses have been on the market for a long time. The first thing they do is get rid of the stuff. All kinds of crap everywhere, not needed, not pretty, not even nice. Having too much stuff means people spend precious money on ridiculous crap, manufacturers continue to make ridiculous crap, that ridiculous crap has packaging that presents a problem, that ridiculous crap ends up in the landfill. Begin again. Labeling. Should we label races, emotions, actions, personalities, sexuality? Every part of human existence and the wider world we label. This is not necessarily a bad thing, as it is vital for people to categorize and order things in their mind to make sense of a widening existence. However, as soon as people start to put negative connotations on a particular label, it negatively affects everyone. If I need to explain how racism and homophobia is bad for society, then you're already a lost cause. So labeling, in my opinion, is society's biggest addiction, possibly its most destructive, but arguably necessary for us to make sense of the surrounding world. I think its biggest addiction right now is nosing into on everyone's business and pretending they've been there since the start of whatever happened. Being offended for them, representing them, standing up for them, or whatever. If I had someone like that, they'd be kicked to the curb, because the last thing I'd want is someone misunderstanding me or misunderstanding a cause. No, don't get offended over someone else's behalf and pretend you give a shit when you don't. Not sure if it's an addiction, but corporate greed over responsible corporate citizenry, or greed. I think that, if an addiction in the negative is what's being underlined here, then greed over doing the right thing is it. Not every business is bad, nor is every business trying to be bad citizens, but there's problems that still exist, ones that could be solved if greed and ever-increasing profits were removed/remodeled. The societal stigma to have children and reproduce. The majority of people I talk to have a rather blasé attitude about it. Like, oh, I guess I will have kids one day, everyone else does, my parents want grandkids, my spouse wants to have a family. Never mind the fact that most people have children to fill a loneliness, a void in their life that can't possibly be replaced by another human. Some of the most ignorant, rude, and trashy people I know voluntarily bring children into this world. How irresponsible. Being right. From what I've seen, people are likely to double down, rather than admit the possibility that they might be wrong. This unwillingness to change in the face of sometimes overwhelming evidence is a human fault that has reared its ugly head often, and held back progress for as long as humans have recorded their history. This pig-headedness will destroy our planet along with anything good we've ever had. Addiction to their own belief of knowledge. A few ways to word this, but it boils down to when someone only knows a little about a subject but feel like they know it all. It's an addiction just the same any other, because till you admit you're wrong, no one can help you. Take voting for example, many people have strong feelings about who they would vote for, but next to nobody has even read their own party's manifesto, let alone know what candidates say. Or Heath, look at how instead of trusting people who have spent years of their lives training in medical or science fields, enough people to stop herd immunity working decided to trust a Facebook group etc. because it echoed something in their mind. If we could all admit we might not know everything and understand those who get paid to work in that field might know more than Karen, we would be better off as a race.